Hello and welcome to the season finale of Season 1 of my Acura Team Penske career mode on F1 2021. And we are here, of course, at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix circuit, the Marina Bay City circuit, or the Marina Bay circuit, whatever they call it. Anyway, let's get done with qualifying. And Lewis Hamilton is on the pole, Max Verstappen second, we are third, Charles Leclerc is fourth, Bottas fifth, Perez sixth. So, of course, as we sort of saw in the last race, it's a four-way fight for the championship, with the Red Bulls tied on points, with Bottas 9 points back and Hamilton 18 points back. So, these scenarios sort of, I guess, lay out like this. So Lewis Hamilton, his main objective should be to just go out and win the race and get the maximum amount of points because he needs the most help. He would need, let me see, he's 26, so he's 18 points back. He scores 26 points, including the fastest lap, of course. That would give him a 8-point lead if they scored no points. So that means he would need to win and get the fastest lap, while Verstappen and Perez finish at least 6th. Well, Perez, it would be 6th or lower. Verstappen would have to be 7 because on a tiebreaker, Verstappen, I think, would take it based on the amount of wins that he has. He has more wins than Lewis Hamilton for sure. So he has to win the race, hope Sergio Perez finishes 6th or lower. He has to hope that Verstappen finishes 7th or lower. And with Bottas, so Bottas is 9 points ahead of him. I think Bottas would have to finish 3rd or worse. And basically, the bottom line is Hamilton needs a lot of help in order to win the championship. But he has to win. He pretty much has to win the race. Verstappen, he just has to finish ahead of Perez and Bottas, really. I mean, mainly Perez, but he can get away if Bottas finishes like 1 spot ahead of him, maybe 2, but any beyond that, it's, a little dicey. And same for Perez. So, a lot of different scenarios in play for this race. Of course, I'm in the middle of a snowstorm right now, so it's getting pretty dire.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow?
I say dire, but not really, because it's going to turn to rain sometime overnight. But,
Did you feel that things went well for you today? What was the secret ingredient for your performance today? Great. Well, that's everything.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
All right. No concerns with the weather, of course. R&D. We should have enough points to adapt everything that we have to adapt. It's taken care of. So we're all adapted on the chassis side. Durability, we only have one. So that's taken care of. And we really can't do anything else because we'd have to adapt it. Or at least the chassis and the durability. But the good news, we are all caught up on the adaptions, so nothing to worry about there. So we will not lose anything in those areas. R&D progress, Aston Martin jumped us, but again, that sort of middle pack is still very tight. Red Bull gained a little bit on Mercedes. McLaren gained a little bit on Ferrari. But it doesn't really matter at this point because, well, it matters for the championship, but it's all going to sort of shuffle around going into the second season. So, yeah, so that's all there is to say. So let's get straight into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula One season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit, just over 3.4 miles long with 21 corners and 2 very long back straights. There are 2 DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both Turn 8 and Turn 11 and offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners as well, in particular 15, 16 and 17, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and the Golden Boy completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Norris, Ricciardo, Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Bottas, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Pierre Gasly and Nicholas Latifi, Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Stroll, Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, let's finish the season with a strong effort.
So we gained 1 spot thanks to grid penalties. And some interesting shakeups. Alright, so I would say the only person who wasn't affected by the grid penalties was Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen drops to 5th, Valtteri Bottas drops to 12th, and Sergio Perez starting 19th on the grid. And a lot of mixed up tire strategies too. You got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on a medium tire, but that really doesn't matter because they'll do a two-step anyway. So yeah, with the grid penalties, this pretty much comes down to Hamilton versus Verstappen. So yeah, so it's going to be, very hard for Perez or Bottas to win this championship, and Verstappen just needs to finish in the top 5. Really, it doesn't matter what Hamilton does at that point. So yeah, and then strategy says 2-stop, but I'm pretty sure I can make that a 1-stop and make it work. And who knows, maybe we can win the race.
Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Dries seem like the best tyre for now. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
It's all going to come down to this, the title decider. So we can get to the grid.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Here we go. 4 drivers, 2 teams, technically 2 championships. And here we go. 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Who will be the world champion? And we're underway. And it's a not good start. Squeezed out by both Ferraris. We're going to make it 3 wide and get back by. No wing damage, but Hamilton just got away. He's run off into the distance. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is the man of the hour right now. If this was the end result at the end of the race, he would be the World Drivers' Champion. As here comes Carlos Sainz, looking to make a move. For second, he'll have the spot for now, but hairpin coming up. We'll take it right back as we squeeze him out. Hamilton is just gone. He is gone. Let's check after the first lap. Bottas is in the points now, so he's in a bit of an advantageous position now. Perez still stuck in 19th. He's got a ways to go, obviously. Of course, the pit window here at Abu Dhabi is very wide, as you can see. 7 to 12 is when the pit window open. Is when the pit window is open.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Probably going to be under attack here. Carlos Sainz momentarily. Squeezing Sainz out a little bit, but he's still close. Might have a run at us here, especially if I don't keep my eyes on the road. Fortunately, we got a bit of a DRS train going on right about now. Sainz is coming this time. He might have the position. He's going to fly on by, and we'll try to fight back. Ooh, we got him there for the moment, but he's got DRS, and we have nothing to answer with. And here comes Leclerc and the other Ferrari, and he's going to fly on by potentially, but no, we hold him up. And we just have a bad run through that complex of corners. So let Leclerc by, just for the sake of getting through this corner, this complex of corners.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
So double overtake by the Ferraris. They get me in the same straight. And we are now down to P4. While Verstappen is on my tail.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Verstappen's going to have a huge run at us here. We have DRS, but Verstappen just generally has a quicker car. We'll fight it the best we can, though. Of course, this will be the last time in an F1 game, at least for the foreseeable future, that we will have the, I guess, the original Abu Dhabi Grand Prix layout, as they have changed the track. Of course, they couldn't. The changes were made for so late in the year that the game, this year's game, did not have time to appropriately adapt the track to the changes, but we will see them presumably in next year's F1 game, or I guess technically this year's F1 game. We are in 2022 after all. Hoping some of the guys in front of me do pit on lap 7. I feel like that's not going to happen, but we'll see. Oh, Verstappen's going to have a great run here. I don't have DRS, he will. Verstappen's going to just fly on by in the Red Bull. DRS assistance, the whole 9 yards. And Verstappen's got the overtake. We'll see if we can fight back. A little bit over the hump, over the curb. Just give me 1 second here, just want to do something. fight back on Verstappen here. Try to get the position back.
Our gap to
And
the
we
car in
do.
front is 1.9 seconds.
Back up into P4. We stifle Verstappen's charge for the moment. Oh, Verstappen made a dive. I didn't even see that one. Okay, that was a bold move by Verstappen.
Box, we're coming in this lap. Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
I hope at this stage just to stay in touch with Verstappen as it went really deep into that corner. Nobody pits yet.
The gap to the car ahead is increasing by a few tenths per lap.
Comes Lando. Ooh, tight squeeze. Not the best run to that complex of corners. Norris gonna get by. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Gonna get 3 wide. Vettel might do a double overtake here. Oh, it's a mess. Whoa. That got messy real quick.
You have P5, P5, Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.2 seconds. They're on old softs. Vettel is behind you. They're on old softs. The gap to the leader is 11.3 seconds. Your pit window is open. Pit window is open. 21 laps to go.
Well, that got messy real fast. We got a couple cars pitting. We got Hamilton, Verstappen, and Leclerc hitting the pits. So Carlos Sainz picks up the race lead. Should be interesting to see what happens with Hamilton because he's got 2 cars in front of him who will be going longer on their stint in Antonio Giovinazzi's Alfa Romeo and Fernando Alonso's Alpine. So, we'll just see Hamilton any. We try to make the pass on Sebastian Vettel to take P2. We get it. Tire wear currently not too bad. I think our goal is to get to lap 12, which would be the very end of the pit window.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
I think pitting at that point we can make the one stop work. Sorry for the pauses. Everyone else behind me comes in pit road, except for Alonso and Giovinazzi. As Hamilton starts to battle Giovinazzi for that position. Still stuck behind him for the moment. Probably won't be so for long. It's obviously definitely not helping Lewis. Check the race director. Yeah, see, this would be a more interesting race if the people who started on mediums actually went to hards, but they're not going to do that, so not as interesting, unfortunately. Looks like Hamilton got by Giovinazzi. Remember, we are going to stick it out for 2 more laps on this tire, on this set of tires. So we might be doing some defending against Hamilton here coming up. Maybe force Hamilton back into these cars that are on the medium tire. Oh, and Alonso dives into the pits a little earlier than I was expecting. So now we're going to have to fend off Lewis Hamilton for 2 more laps.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits.
Leclerc set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix that time. Uh-oh, somebody's got a problem.
Green flag.
Oh, when we crashed with Lewis Hamilton while I was trying to see what was going on behind me. Oh no! Oh no! Is Max Verstappen, is he dropping out of the race? Don't tell me Max Verstappen's dropping out of the race. Oh gosh, darn it, Lewis.
Let me know you're okay.
What are you doing? Oh no, it's the nightmare scenario. Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix.
On track, resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
So unless Hamilton, Bottas, and Perez don't score, any points, Lewis Hamilton's en route to be the world champion. That's incredible. So, Bottas sitting in 11th currently will not score points. Sergio Perez sitting in 15th will not score points. Lewis might actually do it.
You should be feeling the effects of some tyre wear soon, so stay on your toes.
Go another lap here. Hamilton tries to make a pass. Hamilton getting really squirrely behind me. Hamilton's not trying to make a move on me. I don't know why. Ooh, Hamilton slides. He's gonna bring the Ferraris
Calm down
right
a bit
to
out
him.
there. Let's keep these passes clean.
Yeah. Hamilton, I have no idea what he's doing.
looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
That's not ideal.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful. check your... Right, come in at the end of this lap. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop. Go, go, go. We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
Well, some wild scenes here in Abu Dhabi. Me and Hamilton. We had a run-in back at Bahrain at the start of the year, and we've had another one this time, and it's forced Hamilton to come in and change a front wing. Where's Bottas? Bottas is up in 5th. Well, Bottas is technically up in 5th, but we're doing a one-stop. We will pass him on track. Well, not on track, but we will pass him when he's in the pits. And he went for soft, so he'll be going for another set of mediums soon. I don't know where they're split the championship, because Perez is still out of the points. I think. I could be wrong. See, the hard thing to tell is that all this is going to change when everyone else in front of me pits, and I stay out, because I'm not pitting for the rest of the Grand Prix. As I hit the back of Kimi Räikkönen's car. So as it runs right now, I think, I'm going to make a dive bomb on Räikkönen. I think Sergio Perez is going to be the one to watch. Because currently he's running in P9, but when everything cycles around, of course, again, I'm staying on track. He will be elevated to P10, or he will drop down to P10 if this order stays as is when everyone pits. who knows where Bottas ends up. I had to think Bottas is pitting soon because
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Gap
he is
to
on
teammate behind
the
is 10.2
soft
seconds.
tire. Try to do my best to avoid the curbs. Remember, I'm planning on going to the end of the race. Now, I made it 12 laps on softs. I could have done maybe 2 more if I really pushed it. So I feel like, 16 laps on the mediums should be more than enough to make it to the end of the race. But you never know, so we will carry on, try to do our best to avoid the curbs, as I said. Quite a bit of traffic, so it's kind of hard to navigate, especially parts of the track where it's more difficult to pass.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
No, we are not doing that.
Repeat that. There's interference. P12. We have P12. Giovinazzi's just ahead. Push for the position. The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Vettel behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on old softs. Our gap to first place is 21.6 seconds. Your pit window opens in 2 laps time. 14 laps to go.
Uh-oh. DRS
We're
failure.
slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
So we've lost the DRS, which is not ideal, as Sebastian Vettel is going to try to make a pass. Now, normally in the past, when I've lost DRS, it's been in situations where there was nobody in front of me.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Yeah, in the past, when I've had this issue, it's usually been when there's been nobody in front of me, so it wasn't a problem that didn't really concern me, because I wasn't in the need to pass anyone. Well, now I'm in a position where I'm actively battling with cars, so it is affecting me in a negative way. I probably would have passed Giovinazzi already if not for this fault in the DRS system.
In this lap, push now.
Lewis Hamilton, probably steam coming out of his ears right now as he's trying to work his way through the field, just hit the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Make a move here on Giovinazzi. And that didn't quite work out the way I hoped it would. See, I thought we had the raw speed to see. That's more what I was looking for, right there. That time he got it. Of course, he can't capitalize because no DRS. So Giovinazzi will just rock right back.
Okay, clear.
Uh-oh, somebody had an off. Was it Alonso back there had an issue? That's Esteban Ocon, actually. Yep, he spins her around. So it'll be a good end to Esteban Ocon's season. So that issue for Ocon actually helps out Lewis Hamilton. Gains a free position off of that. A little spitteroo from Ocon. Ooh. Sliding. Oh, we got one of the Ferraris in the pits. We have more cars coming into the pits now.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
It is Leclerc who dived into the pits. He's going to come out scot-free, and he's probably going to be on his way to winning this race. So, guess we'll have to wait and see where Carlos Sainz comes out. Bottas currently in second, but of course he will have to make a pit stop. He's battling with Lando Norris for P2. There's Sainz in the pits. And not Bottas. He stays out another lap. Of course, Bottas has to pit again because he went soft. So, by the regulations, he must make another pit stop. Ooh, this is going to be close to Carlos Sainz. I think he's just going to beat us out as I smashed one of the Rolex bollards. Not the bollard, but one of the Rolex styrofoam advertising boards. But he is right behind his teammate, Charles Leclerc, who's stuck in a long line of traffic of people who have yet to make their pit stops, their second pit stops, so this could actually really work out well for Carlos Sainz. In his quest to potentially win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And he's right on his teammate too. He's got DRS obviously. He's going to try to make a move here.
Gap to car in front is 2.1 seconds.
No, not happening there, though. This chaos will help us, as I think somebody's got an issue in front. I think it's Lando Norris has some sort of problem. He's very slow. Jeez. Trying to really on the brakes here. Finally, Valtteri Bottas comes into the pits. So does Lando Norris and Sergio Perez. Currently, Fernando Alonso leads the Grand Prix, but pretty sure Alonso will need to pit one more time. I feel like that's the second time we passed Giovinazzi, unless Unless, you know, what probably happens, I passed Raikkonen, and I thought Raikkonen was Giovinazzi. So that probably makes more sense. Not forget that this is Kimi Raikkonen's last race. He's dueling with his teammate Antonio Giovinazzi. Raikkonen giving no quarter in his final Grand Prix. Weaving with Giovinazzi down the second DRS straight. The Iceman giving it all he's got in the final race of his career. And they're actually doing a treat for me, holding up Lewis Hamilton. Of course, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi switched on to mediums, so they're going to go longer on this stint before pitting again. So they're just helping me out. Doing wonders as Fernando Alonso dives into the pits. And one of the Alfa Romeos dives in. Looks like it's Raikkonen.
You're now running in third. P3, we're leading our teammate by 17.4 seconds. The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds.
So really can't truly gauge what the championship battle looks like until some of the other people who haven't pitted yet pit. Who hasn't pitted yet? So we got Raikkonen, or actually got Giovinazzi is the only one who hasn't pitted yet. So and Esteban Ocon hasn't pitted either. So I guess we'll see here momentarily what the situation is. Because I honestly don't really know, because Perez, I'm surprised, Perez is still way back in the running order. I thought he'd be further up than he is. Well, I knew he started towards the back, but I thought he would have made his way up a little bit more by now. I know he did get held up by whatever was going on with Lando Norris. Must have had a wing damage of some sort. Anyway, we are in the last third of the race. And as a reminder, here the situation is that Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez came into this race level on points. So if one of them simply outscores the other, they win the championship. Bottas came into this race 9 points out of first place. So as it stands now, all Bottas would need to do is finish 5th, and he would win the championship. Because he was behind by 9. He just needs to score 10. 10 points. That's all he needs. Hamilton, as we talked about earlier, he needed really to win. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. And for Sergio Perez, what he really needs, he just needs if Sergio Perez can just get into the top 10, he would win the championship. So as it stands right now, you got the Ferraris up front. You got Leclerc and Sainz, 1-2. I'm running 3rd. Hamilton's 4th. Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin is running 5th. Then you've got the AlphaTauris of Yuki Tsunoda, or Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Then you've got Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes, and he is running 8th place. Ricciardo is 9th, Alonso is 10th, Sebastian Vettel is 11th, and Sergio Perez is 12th. So again, Sergio Perez, he just needs 2 spots. He needs 2 spots, and he's world champion. So that's what the situation is right now, is that Bottas needs to get up to P5. So he needs to pass both AlphaTauris and Lance Stroll. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez, he's gotten by, Sergio Perez has gotten by Sebastian Vettel for P11 on track. So all Perez needs to do, he just needs to catch and pass Fernando Alonso. That's it. That's all he needs. He just needs to pass one car, and he's the world champion. That is how crazy things are right now.
The car ahead is a second a lap faster than you.
And meanwhile, we're trying to worry about our own race.
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
And speaking of the devil, Sergio Perez sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That man is on charge. He knows the world title is on the line. If he could just pass one more car, well, granted, he's about, he is a couple seconds behind Fernando Alonso, but that is a long line of cars in front of him. Give you an insight. So he's entering the chicane here just as Alonso ahead is entering the hairpin. So I don't know what that equates to in seconds. But he's got the time, and he's clearly got a fast race car right now. So it's all on Sergio Perez right now. And Bottas, meanwhile, is still stuck in that DRS train with the AlphaTauris. I don't know if he's passed one of them already. He has. He's gotten by Tsunoda, I think. So that moves Bottas up to P7. That's right, because he has to pass Gasly and Stroll to get to P5. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen, he can still win this World Championship. He just has to, again, if Perez doesn't score and Bottas doesn't finish 5th or better, Verstappen still wins the championship, even though he has failed to finish this race.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.4 seconds.
By the way, if Bottas does get to P5, he would win the World Championship by 1 point. which would be crazy.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
What drama here on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that a title fight in an F1 game with the AI, not the player, the AI, could be this close and this dramatic. Meanwhile, the Ferraris are on their way to waltzing into a 1-2 finish. Ooh!
Are you all right? Engine
I
off. Engine off.
messed that up royally. But no fear, we will go back and we will continue on with the race. Just had a mess up coming out of the penultimate corner. Four laps to go. Championship literally coming down to the final laps of the race. Tire wear, not a concern. Should be fine to the end of the race. So again, the scenarios. If both Bottas and Perez fail to advance into their proper positions, Max Verstappen, for their, I guess, needed positions. Let me start that again. If Bottas and Perez stay where they are right now, Max Verstappen is your 2021 World Champion. If Valtteri Bottas can get up to 5th and Sergio Perez is unable to crack the top 10, then Valtteri Bottas is your world champion for 2021. And if Sergio Perez...
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of
Sergio Perez can pass just one car, he will be the 2021 Formula One world champion. All come down to this, come down to 3 laps to go. It could come down to the last lap of who wins this championship.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
And meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is coming like a house of fire. He's cut the gap to us down to 3 seconds. And he could get us before the end of the race.
Gap ahead is 5.2 seconds.
I'm sure Hamilton would love to knock me off the podium after our earlier contact. And Sergio Perez is so close to that pack. He's probably... I would have to think on the next lap he will be within DRS range of Fernando Alonso. But the problem is that's a DRS train, so I don't know if Perez can... once he gets there, I don't know if he can do anything. And Bottas, to be fair, he's stuck in a train of his own right now. Trying to get by Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll. Of course, at this stage, Lewis Hamilton, he really can't do anything at this stage because he needed at least 18 points. And even if he passed me, which is likely, he would only get to 15, and that's not enough for him to leapfrog both Red Bulls. Oh, run wide. Meanwhile, Sainz looking the best Leclerc in his debut season, at least in terms of the win column. Sainz will get his second win of the year if this holds. He won the race back in
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
France in that thriller that we were involved in. Bottas can just taste it. I'm pretty sure Perez has caught the pack and he's been trying to pass. And again, if he just needs to pass one car. If he passes one car, he wins the championship. And if neither Bottas or Perez can advance their positions, Max Verstappen will be the world champion still, because he will win the tiebreaker on Sergio Perez, or with Sergio Perez. It will come down to wins, I'm pretty certain. And in that scenario, Verstappen overwhelmingly gets the tiebreaker because he's quadrupled the amount of race wins nearly. That's
Final lap of the race.
Max Verstappen has gotten, and we're on the final lap. It is the final lap. Lewis Hamilton closing the gap to me, trying to steal away the podium. Leclerc trying to make one last charge at Carlos Sainz. Valtteri Bottas trying to pass somebody to try to get fifth. Sergio Perez is right there. Would this not be unbelievable that an engine failure, that the world champion will not even finish this race?
Come on, you can win that place back.
We're on the precipice of seeing that happening. Oh gosh, Hamilton, you brake checked me. Uh-oh, we've got some movement. We've got some movement back here. Let's take a look at what's going on. I think something happened with Stroll. Gasly caught him at a rate of knots. And he's going to pass Lance Stroll. This could be the opening that Bottas needed. Perez is still stuck in 11th. Let's see what happens down this straight. Can Bottas pull off a double overtake to win the World Championship? Because after this point, there's not much room to pass. Oh, Bottas! Wow! Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at Valtteri Bottas. The man trying to win the World Championship. He just needs 2 spots. So again, he came into this race 9 points out of first. 10 points wins him the championship. As it stands, Sergio Perez not going to do anything. He's going to sit in 11th place. Unless Bottas gets the fastest lap. They're 3 wide. He gets slowed up. He will move into 6th place. I don't think at this rate he can catch Lance Stroll and pass him for P5. Because that would win him the championship. I don't think with the layout of this circuit he will get that done. So, I'm going to get my thing out here and record championship celebration, and we will see who ends up being the world champion for 2021.
That's it, what a season. Great work this year, really great work. It's been hard at times, but we've come through.
Victory today then, but bittersweet emotions I'm sure, as the championship slips through their fingers. Even so, what a fantastic final race of the season this was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Lance Stroll certainly put in an impressive performance today. No doubt his team and fans are extremely proud.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Okay, so we might have had a little bit of a snafu. Let's take a look, just to confirm. This actually happened earlier in the season. Let's go to confirm this. So Perez is going around the track, yada yada da da da. Oh, who was that? Somebody locked up right in front of him on the last lap of the race. That was just fireworks. Huh. Oh, I think that was the McLaren. So Stroll was really backing the bus on that last lap. Backing the bus, is that even a proper parlance? I don't even know. Or proper saying, I don't even know. Anyway, so here's the move again. Stroll, Gasly battling for position. Bottas had a shot that could have won the championship. He couldn't take it. Now, for some reason, this is some weird glitch in the game. It put Sergio Perez down to 21st place. Now, fortunately, I should say, that didn't matter because Perez was still out of the points. So him being classified as 21st doesn't matter for the championship. So he was already finishing out of the points. So ultimately, ignore these results. Sergio Perez finished in 11th place. What that means, if you look at the standings, first we go to Constructors. Red Bull pulled it off by just 4 points. So not only, Mercedes, they actually, the pass that Hamilton made on me on the last lap really helped Mercedes potentially get closer to the Constructors' Championship. And if Bottas had passed, Bottas moved to 5th, it would have been closer, but they still would have won it because I think there would have been 2 back. So, again, Red Bull edges out Mercedes in the Constructors, and the Drivers, the title goes to Max Verstappen via the tiebreaker. And just look at that championship result. Again, this is just unbelievable. So, in the finale, both Red Bulls scored 0 points, yet Max Verstappen, and yeah, well, Red Bull scores no points, but in the end of the day, or at the end of the night in this case, they still walk away with both titles, and it's crazy how it worked out. Again, ignoring the glitch, Sergio Perez needed one spot, and he would have won the title from Max Verstappen, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't get by Fernando Alonso. And Bottas had a shot in the final lap of the race to pass both Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly to get the spot to get the points that he needed to leapfrog and to get both guys, both Bottas and Perez. They needed 1 point. Exactly 1 point. Well, actually, Perez needed 1 point. Bottas needed 2 spots to get to 1 point ahead. Either case, they would have won the championship had they both would have won the championship by 1 point exactly. If they had done what they needed to do, and at the end of the day, they just couldn't do it. So, DNFing out of the race, Max Verstappen had all those DNFs throughout the season, and ultimately it didn't matter. He still wins the championship thanks to his incredible amount of race victories. As actually what we'll do, we're going to go back and take a look at that last lap scramble going into the kink there. Well, it's not really a kink, but that sort of left-right left complex. As the moment where Valtteri Bottas lost the championship. So yeah, once again, incredible how that worked out. Okay, we'll take a look more at the final standings one more time. So, I'll say the top four. We finished P5. Leclerc got close. He would have been a little closer if he had won that race, but he wasn't going to catch us where we were running. Lando Norris gets 7th. Pierre Gasly gets 8th. Carlos Sainz 9th. Daniel Ricciardo gets 10th. Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, and then the Haas and the Williams cars scored no points. And then constructors-wise, Ferrari, they had the pace advantage in the latter third or the latter quarter of the season that edged them out over McLaren. So they finished 3rd, McLaren 4th, we're 5th. AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Alpine, Alfa Romeo, and Haas and Williams. And yeah, that was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Max Verstappen overcomes everything to win the Formula One World Championship in probably one of the most exciting and bizarre ways possible. Just like in real life. Exciting, bizarre, it all fits. So, me and Lando get 3 and 3. I think, we win the rivalry. Because the rivalry ends, even if it's, not technically over to 30, end of the season, so. Get some nice cash, $973,000. A little more, and then $10.36 million. Not too shabby. I'm still not over how that played out. That was crazy. And Hamilton, I'll say this, if he got by me earlier and he had the chance to get by at least one of the Ferraris, well, actually, he's still, even in that position, he still would have needed to get the win, because if he had moved to 2nd, he would have scored 18 points. That would have tied him. It would have been a 3-way tie for the championship had Hamilton finished 2nd in that race. But again, the title would have gone to Max Verstappen anyway. Actually, I think Hamilton would have moved to 2nd in the final standings. But yeah, like I said, he really needed that win. And if he had won that race, he would have won the championship by 7 points. So, but we had a run in with him at the start of the season. We had a run in again with him at the end of the season, so it comes full circle. So yeah, so I'm just going to be taking some photos here. So thank you for watching the first season of my Acura Team Penske career mode. Playing as Acura Team Penske, driving as IndyCar champion Joseph Newgarden. So, I'll be stopping here. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for Season 2 in the Season 2 prologue.